Well, there you are again. Charlie Greer podcast. I do this every day. Today, so sorry about the dogs. And it's a dog update. Hey, Hup. Dog up. Yeah, this is what I'm dealing with. Dog update. Yeah, sorry about them technical difficulties. PJ. Yeah, so as you can hear, and a day or so ago, I had a dog update. Meet my dog and I talk about this stray dog that's been following us around for like 4 or 5 days, sleeping on my porch, and running in the road, and I'm a dog person. I don't want to see a dog. He's a little dog. In October, my dog that I had for years, Simon, Mr. Simon, well, he passed. He passed on October 10th. So it's been rough. Been really rough. And yeah, love you, Mr. Simon. And so this dog, I've been trying to I gave him water and food outside. I mean, it's cold. It's like 22 degrees at night here. And the neighbors even chimed in. They were walking around trying to figure out who owns this dog? Has anybody seen him? And I was like, well, maybe I did, but I can't remember. So that's why I look kind of tired. I've been up, trying to sleep, and he's whining on the porch, and my other dog is whining at the door, So finally, last night I come home, hanging out with some friends. Pardon me. And so he's there. He's on the porch. I try to, he runs, and then I have to walk my dog. I've been gone for hours. I'm walking the dog. He comes around. He'll get really close now. And I pet him. I got to pet him like the other day. I sat on the porch, and finally So last night when I got home, I walked my dog, and then the grueling attempt to lure him in. So what I did was I took my screen door and I locked it, the little lock there, had my open door, and it was cold. And so he likes my dog. So I had come on, get in there. And he would finally started getting in the house, and I tried to close the door, and he'd run. It went on for half an hour. And finally, I got him far enough into the house to close the door. Because I don't want him to sleep. I don't want him sleeping outside. I don't want him freezing to death. And then after I do this today, I'm going to put him on a leash and walk him around and see whose dog he is. I don't want people to think I'm stealing dogs. But he's a sweet dog too. He's a little bit smaller than PJ. He's got longer hair. He looks like a little German Shepherd or something. I've been calling him Shep for Shepherd, and he's coming to it. And he's smart. He is smart. He already knows when I'm going to take him out. When he sees me putting on the jacket, he knows. He's really smart. He's got a flea collar on him and another collar, but no tag. So I'm going to try to find the owner. I'm going to walk him around, and anybody I see, hey. But see, there, no good deed goes unpunished. My dog PJ is 11, I think, 11 years old. And about 2-3 years ago, when I took her to the pound, they're like, oh, she's going through menopause. I hope so, because last night, no sooner than he came in, I started taking off my stuff, getting ready to look around, and they're humping. And then they're stuck. What? I mean, I haven't seen this since I was a kid living in Tennessee. I Googled stuck dogs attached. They're gods. It said no big deal in 5 minutes. So. And I did. They got, but it's I don't want puppies, man. I don't. It was kind of weird last night. Dogs fornicating, and he's a sweet dog. He slept with me. He's a good guard dog because you can tell he can. But he's just so smart and so fast. He's a little trotter, ticket. So yeah, it's I have a heart for dogs. I mean, I don't want this dog. He will freeze. You can't live him out. I mean, this is central Illinois where I live. And it's not only cold. So it'll say 22 degrees, but with the wind chill factor, the wind, it's even colder. And the humidity. I didn't know this, but humidity they'll have high humidity in the winter. So it's that it goes right through your clothes. Sometimes it doesn't, but that high humidity cold, man, you can't, it doesn't matter what you're wearing. Uh, and you feel damp. Like I miss the California weather. I lived in California for 24 years. Just moved here like 8 months ago to find a place. I used to live in this town when I was younger to like start my podcast and just mellow out, just because living in LA, you're all, you get a lot of grit on you and uh, just to decompress, find some that's reasonable, you know, affordable to live and start my podcast. I do this every day. Uh, and you have to arrange your life. I mean, I know how weird it looks and how, amateur hour it is, but it's the content that counts. But yeah, I moved here and I have friends around here. Scotty Beers, he lives here. He's lived all over, but he moved back to this town too. And his mother, who's like a second mother to me, I call her Mama Beers. She's awesome. Um, and they're like family to me, And then I thought I had about 2 hours away at Champaign Urbana where I used to live, and I was in a band there, but I hadn't been too inviting. People haven't. The strange thing is, before I left, people were like, "Oh yeah, nothing, not a whisper, not a." That's cool. You think you have a bunch of friends, and quite honestly, you don't. If you've got one good friend, you're lucky, kind of thing. And I have my dogs. Well, I had my dogs. Then Simon passed in October. Then I saved this little chip. I don't even know what his real name is. And he seems cool. Yeah. Can you guys see him? I doubt you can see him. So I doubt. I mean, I'll probably find if he has a owner, which I think he does, but hopefully I can find him. I'll walk him around. I'll put him on a leash. I'll walk him around, talk to people. Whose dog is this? Well, he's showing. I'm sure I'll find. And hopefully they're not mad, but it's like, look, he only spent one night last night in my house. The last 4 nights, whatever, he was out on my porch. And if you live close, you would think, and the neighbors have came out, like we're all worried about this dog because he's running in the street, and um, I hate to see a dog, and I grew up around dogs. I'm a hillbilly from Tennessee, so it's like we saved dogs. We always had dogs. Always. My grandmother had a little, what was it? A Chihuahua Tinkerbell. And I had dogs, and I always had dogs. Moved to LA in 98 with my dog. Awesome. So yeah, hopefully them getting stuck isn't going to be like, I don't want PJ having puppies. But if she does, I'll get the pup and I'll give away puppy, or maybe I'll keep them on. You never know. I'm eccentric like that, maybe. And I haven't dealt with puppies because I have back in the day. With dogs. Hell, me and Scotty Beers one night. His dog had puppies. We filmed it. The strange thing about that, I had this old VCR camera, like the one you put on your shoulder that weighs like 20 pounds. She was having her puppies, and she was in a crate. And this is when his kids were small. And if I zoomed in and get it close, because I was like 10 feet away from her, because she was like, didn't want anybody around. If I zoomed in, she knew. She'd only grab, she'd look at it, and I'd zoom out, she would stop. Like, how does she know that see, dogs know. I don't know what it is about dogs, but you've been around dogs. They're smarter than you think. They all got their own personality. And they're loving. People think like a dog's a dumb animal. They're not. We could learn a lot from dogs. And some people do. But yeah, I haven't dealt with, I think the last time I dealt with the litter was that night with Scotty Beers back in the day. So it's been over like 20 years. But again, PJ, when she went to the vet, they said she was going through menopause. That's because she was acting funny, and They did tests like, oh yeah, she's menopause. That was like 2 years ago. So hopefully, because I never got PJ fixed, because I thought like, well, maybe because that was my regret with my other dog, Possum. I got her fixed, and then I could tell, I wanted to have puppies, and then I couldn't. So I thought, well, maybe PJ, and I've had her 11 years, and nothing happens. All the dogs we've been around, this, that, and this little Chet, and she likes him, or she wouldn't have, And I literally turned around. I was going for like a minute or two. I was changing from my jeans into like some sweatpants, and uh, they're stuck. I was like, oh man, they're stuck. I don't need this right now. And they're looking all kind of like, oh yeah. They were stuck for like 5 minutes. And then, of course, then they ignored each other. They were all over each other until they. But they're buddies. I mean, um, right now they're both on the couch on one end, each on one end of the couch. And he slept with me last night. And he's smart. He knows. He's like, again, that's why he might not be too wild. Maybe they moved and just left it. I don't know. I shall find out. We shall see, perhaps. Or I got another dog. Last week, I was just talking to Scotty Beers and Mama Beers about like PJ acting funny since Simon's passed in October. Her best friend. I had Simon for like 6 years. He was 18. He was an old man. But since he's passed, his presence, it's like it's different in the apartment. PJ's acting different. She seems like more, she seems sad. She'd be whining out of nowhere, And so I was like, man, should I get another dog? I mean, like, and I was like, well, I'll think about it. And literally a couple of days later, I got this dog following me. Like every time we came out, he'd come out of the shadow. He was just there. I don't remember seeing him. I mean, I think that I saw a lady one time. She's like, have you seen my dog? He's black. But she didn't say how big he was. This is a little one. But yeah, he followed us. Like I walk her like every 3 hours. So every time I went out there, he was following us. And then running into the street. There's cars flying by. They have a sign on my street saying, hey, slow down. There's kids and dogs, whatever. People don't care. They use my street like the highway. And he's dreaming. I don't know if you can hear that. What are you doing, boy? Yeah, he's growling in his sleep. I guess this is small town life. I guess you move back to a small town, this kind of stuff happens. Because in LA, it never happened. I mean, I'd have dogs come around and we knew dogs, but nothing like he was determined and he picked us. There's other people with dogs. There's other porches he could sleep on. But then again, maybe he's seen, because I spoil PJ. I treat PJ like a person. I like, talk to her. And people around love PJ, and I'm a dog person. I like cats too, but I'm allergic to cats. And I got typhus from a cat in 2013, so I'm kind of, but I've saved cats too. But I've saved many a dog. I mean, I've given old girlfriends dogs and found puppies in an alley or something, and then raise them a bit and potty train them, and then you want to, done that. That one time I was went and talked to like an old friend of mine. I was living in St. Louis, and his backyard and the garage ended in this alley, like old school St. Louis alley with like a brick road. And I heard this. I looked down, and there, like near the pipe there was a dog hiding, like a little puppy. So I grabbed him. He was small. He was like, what are you going to do? And I was like, well, they're like, we'll take him to the pound tomorrow. I was like, no, I'll take him home. And at the time, my mom had a pretty nice house, and in the basement, she had like a rat skiller apartment where like a maid used to live. So I was like renting from her, and I come home with this puppy, and I'd already had Possum. I had a dog, and she had a dog. She's like, oh no, we're not keeping this puppy. He's going to the pound tomorrow. I was like, okay, yeah, it's snowing. It was snowing. So I was like, I didn't want him to die. But then immediately she's like, okay, well, I got this box and I'm going to put a blanket and then we're going to, a clock, a winding clock, because it'll tick, 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 tick. It'll keep him, that noise, that pattern will keep him like, uh, you know, chilled or calm or whatever. And she was right. So like the next day, I wake up, I hear my mother upstairs. So I go upstairs and she's like, we're keeping this dog. Like, I thought you were all adamant about, no, 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 no. And then I got him, you know, to the point where he was potty trained and he was still a puppy. And then I gave him to my ex-girlfriend who had him forever. Hey, hey, hey. They hadn't growled or done anything until I go live. See, this is another thing. Dogs know, like they'll know that I'm talking here. So I don't even know. Maybe they think I'm talking to someone else and there's, where are they? They love to act up when I'm live. It's a thing. But yeah, welcome to my world. I've got this, and I'm tired because they did get me up. I had, 4 in the morning. They both got me up this morning to go out because they've been, wrestling around. They're probably all excited. And I could hear them through I got a wooden floor. So they're like playing or whatever. Hopefully not humping again. So I let them out and went back to bed. And I got up at like 7:30. So I'm tired. I have to take a nap. And I'm in my 50s. And I used to be a wild man. I lived a lot of life. Just more, not like violent wild, more like party wild, like artist wild, Oscar Wilde wild, if you will. But not like Oscar, anyway. Yeah, so we shall see. There might be another update, Comment below. What should I do? Should I keep him? Should I find the home? Again, I'm going to find him the home. But will I have puppies? Dun, dun, dun. Have you ever saved a dog? I mean, I've done this so many times. And I've always rescued dogs. I rescued PJ. And then Simon that I had, and I've told this story before, but a roommate left Simon. And then when her family came to get her stuff, they were going to take him to the pound. And I was like, no, I'll keep him here. And at the time, he was mean. She hadn't really fed him that well. And he was neglected. Just lack of love, And so I'd been there like 2 months, but I was working a lot and I was just in and out. And I never got to bond with Simon. Never even pet him because he was kind of ugly and smelly. And it's just like, well, Then when she left, I had to sweet talk him with like dog treats and Pringles and beef jerky. And I got him, he calmed down. He was a wild man, a wild dog. And he turned into a great dog. So I've saved like dogs. That's just who I am. I mean, people think, oh, you're dumb. Well, maybe so. But I know about karma and I know about, dogs to me are just kind of special. Animals to me, I've always been an animal person. I don't trust people that don't like animals. I know that's kind of like painting with a broad stroke, but as much life as I've lived, that's a big tell that people don't like it, especially if they're open about it. And then there's people that like, oh yeah, act all free, and then your dog's like doesn't like. That's a tell. They're right on it. They are always right about that. So I trust my dogs, or dog, I should say, or dogs if I end up keeping him. If that's a big if. And then PJ, oh man, strange, mysterious world we live in. But yeah, I as soon as I get off of here, I'm gonna put on my jacket and grab this dog and walk the neighborhood, see if he can find his owner. And I hope they're cool about it. I don't want somebody like, oh hey, he was gonna freeze, and he probably would. I mean, come on. He was literally like shaking like a leaf. I don't see how he lived those nights when he was on the porch. And I have a little like welcome mat, like kind of, he was sitting on that or sleeping on that. And then my neighbor was chasing him off, and I finally had to say, "Hey, we're trying to lasso this dog." He's, "I'm sorry, I didn't know what was going on." Like, yeah, we're trying to find him his home because the girls across the street, they came over and they were worried about him. They were trying the same thing, trying to get him. Um, but they'd lived here a long time. They had never seen him. And I don't know. See, I walk my dog all the time, and you're not really paying attention. And I've seen small black dogs, but you see him, I'm not like, studying his color pattern and all that other stuff. So maybe I've seen him before, maybe not. I mean, it doesn't really. But I do remember a couple weeks back, a woman saying, "Hey, have you seen my dog?" And it's funny because I'd never seen her in my life. I was like, "Well, what does your dog look like? Like, when you get that information?" "Well, he's black." That's all she said. Well, I said, "No, pardon me," and she just walked away. You would think that you'd be like, "Oh, he's small, he's black, his name's so and so, he's wearing it." None of that. "Have you seen my dog?" Like, I've never even seen you. Who are you? Let alone your dog. Like, communicate, man. You gotta. Oh man, some people are like that. Just expect you to read their mind or something. I haven't, but I'm a mind reader, so give me a second. Yes, I know where your dog is. Come on, what is that? I guess people are just delusional and in their own mind, and they think everybody else is thinking what they're thinking. No, no, we don't. I'm not clairvoyant. So we shall see. Comment below. Have you saved a dog? Have you saved any animals? Are you an animal person? Are you a dog person? Cats, rabbits, who knows? Um, Guinea pig, I don't know. Fish. Fish are animals. Um, so comment. Tell me what you think. I have a feeling that I'm going to find this dog's home because I'm bound and determined to. I mean, again, I want another dog, but then again, I don't want an illegal dog. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want the cops showing up going, "Yeah, you got this dog." Huh? "Well, no, he was sleeping on my porch." And, you're arrested for like dog thief, thievery. "Man wanted for stealing dog." No, no. "What are you in for?" "Oh, I stole the dog." God, like, shit. No. Nope. So yeah, it's 50-50 whether I find him his home or he's got a new home. You know, it's up in the air. I don't know. So there'll probably be another update. And again, last night, them connected. I just like not even a minute or two, and they're all fornicating and just bam, like it happens. What? And he'd been trying to when we're walking, he's trying to hump her, but it's like, hey, and they seem to be like best buddies already. I think. Um, he's funny. He's got a great personality. So it's up in the air. I'll be happy if I find him his home. I'll be happy if he, stays. Because I hadn't even really decided whether I want another dog. I mean, I was leaning towards getting one because PJ's been so uh, lonely. She just didn't know what to do with her. So she hasn't been the same. Like, and now she's litting back up. Like when he's, even these couple days where she's just, she wants to walk more because she knows he's out there. And and then last night, well, they had a grand old time. Like, oh man. So we shall see. You never know. Comment below. What do you think? Again, I do this every day. Again, please like, share, and subscribe. If you want to support the channel, the information is in the description for Zelle. It's an app that's connected to your, you just can support the channel. Again, I'm going to start doing this 2 times a day. So I need support. Um, and so I'll be back tomorrow. Maybe about an update about this dog. You never know. I'm not a dog. My podcast is not about dogs. I'm all over the place, but that, oh, shit. You never know. But I love y'all. Be blessed. Cheers.